Hi gang, Rob here. It is the afternoon of 22 February 2018, coming to you with a knife review on the TheApostleP channel. Wow, a knife review. It's been a while, I think. Frankly, there just hasn't been a lot of new stuff I've been real excited about lately. The 2018 SHOT Show was a big freaking yawn. You know, some recooked classics from the major manufacturers, some Chinese garbage, you know. But not much out there that really turns my crank. There are a couple I'm sort of waiting to get my hands on, but this one, guys, this one I've been waiting for with bated breath ever since the early reserve went up several months ago. Of course, it is from Lionsteel, and it's a relatively unidentified box. What could it be? What could it be? Well, it's not this, but it's close. This, released August of 2017 by Lionsteel in conjunction with Mike Latham of CollectorKnives.net, is the Lionsteel Roundhead. It's sort of a modern take on the traditional Barlow with modern construction, modern super steel, phosphor bronze washer pivot, and a relatively stunning Mike Latham style spear point blade. I reviewed this knife, and I will link it in the description back in August or September of 2017, where I'll discuss the mechanics of this new knife. You still haven't seen the knife. Well, here it is. This is the same Barlow pattern with a little different blade. With the clip point blade. This is the new Lionsteel special factory order for Mike Latham of CollectorKnives.net clip shuffler. The clip shuffler. Same 3 3/4 inch fusion Barlow pattern, but with a stunning, and I mean stunning, clip point blade. Perfectly proportioned clip, gorgeous cut swedge, beautiful long pull on both sides of the blade. This one is in white carbon fiber. This one is to be sharpened for a customer, and then this one is in natural canvas micarta. This one's mine, and it has been sharpened already. So, you guys know, if you watched my review of the Roundhead, that it's a knife I really, really like in a lot of ways. I love its construction. Not a hafted knife. A crowned spine on the back spring as well as the blade that meet up rather smartly. With liners, and then crowned, radiused, chamfered covers and bolsters. When I mean not hafted, I mean all the finish work of all these components is done before assembly. So you get two choices you can make, or a choice that you have to make. Am I going to try to make everything so it goes together with mechanical fastening devices and methods that are going to make all these finished edges match up and be flush? Or am I going to finish these edges in such a way that it doesn't matter if they're flush? And that's what Lionsteel has done. Everything's smooth, radiused, crowned, chamfered, so that precise fit doesn't really matter a whole lot. Even the joint between the cover and the bolster is met with chamfers. So it's not going to be smooth to the touch, but it looks buttoned up and finished. It's really nice. That all carries over to the clip shuffler. No doubt. Same fit and finish. They all look the same. Just nicely and precisely done, but not hafted. That's a cost saver. That's how we end up with an M390 bladed knife with really precise everything for under $130. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things on the round head I did not like very well. It is too thick behind the edge. This blade is sharpened at 18 degrees per side, and you can see that bevel kind of broad versus other traditional knives, okay? Pocket knives. Here is the clip shuffler, and I'll try to get a shot of these together so you can see without banging the cutting edges into each other. I think you can see how much narrower my edge bevel is. Same 18-degree angle. So the difference in the geometry is this knife is ground so that its thickness behind the edge was about 26 thousandths. The clip shuffler down to about 19 thousandths. This was something I noted in my review, and Mike and Lionsteel corrected. Here was the other thing. The sharpening choil was inadequate in size. You can see it looks almost fine on this knife. I have enlarged this one to be able to sharpen it perfectly all the way to the back. That's a bit of a problem because you'll notice this knife doesn't stop with a kick. This is not a kick. This is the end of the finger choil. The closed stop mechanism, easy for you to say, mechanism is the top of the sharpening choil against that internal closed stop pin. So if you enlarge the choil vertically, you have a big risk that your blade's going to crash into the back spring. We don't want that. So it's a very ticklish process of just extending the choil forward without causing an issue. On the clip shuffler, that is the factory sharpening choil. Notice a couple things. Not only is the plunge grind finished before the cutting edge starts, the plunge grind is much tighter on the clip shuffler. Look at the big lazy radius in the round head and look at the tight radius in the clip shuffler. Bravo! Mike, you listened. Lionsteel, you listened as well. So we took what was a really, really nice fusion knife, a modern take on a spear point Barlow, with a couple of areas that it needed to be improved, and now they made it in a gorgeous clip point with issues handled. Man, what a beauty. Just look at that gorgeous blade grind. The satin finish is super uniform, super sexy. The grinds are all extremely symmetrical. Look down the choil. Look at the swedges. How they meet the tip. I mean, they freaking nailed this knife. Let's talk about it mechanically. Nice half stop with no play at half stop, no blade rattle, as my buddy Evan Nicolaitis calls it. Nice walk and talk. About a 5 pull. I call this plenty adequate and very luxurious. It's just, man, I can't say enough about this knife. Covers available. Man, you guys are going to have to help me out. Natural canvas micarta, white carbon fiber. There is a stag. There's bacote wood, and there might be a couple others. But guess what? As of last night, bacote wood only was still available. So unless you hurry, and unless you like bacote, you're going to be relegated to the secondary market on these. New prices was $128, $129 for most of the covers. I don't think the Stag is out yet, actually. I haven't received my early reserve notice on that one. It'll be more, probably 150 or 60. Secondary market, who knows? I think the roundheads are doing fairly well on the secondary market. In fact, somebody's going to get a crack at this one tonight. I expect the clip shufflers to do even better because look at that blade. To me, it's the perfect EDC knife if you don't need a locking knife. The M390 is heat treated beautifully. It sharpens just like the best M390 I know of. This knife I've been carrying around for 6 months or so, and other than some stropping, and I might have kissed the apex on an ultrafine Spyderco once, but I got to show you this. Not a ton of pocket time for this knife, but it ain't a safe queen, okay? So you can't run the knife into the tang and have it cut right. There we go. There's a push cut. So, it's holding up like M390 ought to hold up, I think. I expect the same to be true on the clip shuffler. Just a little review on the construction. I won't get too deeply into this, but the bolsters and covers do very little mechanically. They're just screwed in with like 3 threads into the stainless steel liners. The structure all comes from the stainless liners and the back spring. And then the pivot is on phosphor bronze washers with an adjustable pivot from one side. So it's like a T pivot with the female, which forms the T in the pivot, I think staked into one liner, and then the adjustability happens with a Torx screw. I haven't needed to adjust any of these knives. They've all come with absolutely zero blade play and almost identical walk and talk. So whoever's putting these knives together and testing their operation at Lionsteel is one persnickety dude or dudette, because they just pretty much all come the same. And I've probably had, between roundheads and clip shufflers, I don't know, 10 or 12 of these in my hand. They're just masterfully done, I gotta say. Masterfully done. So if you're, a modern folder guy and you sort of wanted to dabble in slip joints, but you're not comfortable with 1095 steel or case true sharp, you like something a little better, M390 is about as good as it gets for this application, I think. And the construction, although not traditional, is very, very good. I tend to kind of like my traditional pocket knives to be traditional pocket knives, but this, my friends, is a knife I'm going to carry and use the heck out of. I am. You betcha, aren't they gorgeous? Man, look at the sort of matte finish on that natural canvas. Came out great. What a nice knife. Thank you, Michael Latham, for coming up with this project. It is a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, I say. Thank you, Johnny and the boys at Lionsteel in Maniago for being the manufacturer for these knives. I bet you these would even sell in Europe. Man. Yeah. That's a heck of a trio, isn't it? That's all for this one. I just really have nothing bad to say about this. When have you... Can you remember a knife review that I've done I had nothing bad to say about a knife? I got nothing. Instant classic, says I. That's all for this one, my friends. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the Word and 2 of these 3 lion steels are sharp.